Hey guys, so this is a new vlog, but it's actually the same day as the day my dad rode. He's actually walking Fiona off just behind me. So I'm going to make it into two vlogs because now I'm going to ride my gorgeous Khal. And he is having his first jump of the year after coming back from his break. You will say, Holly, his head is clipped, but his neck is not. Yes, he had the dentist today, and while he was sedated, I took the opportunity and I clipped his head. But he looks ridiculous because the rest of his body isn't clipped, but it will be done either today or tomorrow. So far he's done a few weeks of stretchy kind of work, and then I kind of picked him up and started doing pull work. He's done some cavalettis, and it is well time for him to have his first jumps. So I'm going to tack him up now and get going. Hey, Mr. Cali boy's ready. This is a rub from his rug, by the way, guys. If everyone always wonders. He looks so silly with that head. Oh, good boy. Here in our yard we have a very realistic water feature, and that there's ducks in the water tray.
We actually put ducks into our water tray to make it even harder. See them?
Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a bit of a voiceover about what I do with the horses and how I warm up and what jumping I did. So I always start every ride doing long and low just to stretch out his back, stretch out his muscles. This is particularly important if your horse is stabled. I obviously do a good bit of walk before this. Dad just didn't film it because walking is a little bit boring to film. But because Khal's from the field, I probably could go into trot a bit quicker than say a horse that was stabled. So basically I'm just keeping my hands wide and low and using kind of pressure and release and a small inside bend to encourage him to stretch down, and then I release whenever he stretches down, and then put my leg back on then when his head comes up. He is very good at stretching. He's better than a lot of the horses. Most horses will stretch quite well at the end of the ride. It's a little bit harder sometimes to get them to stretch at the start because they haven't relaxed into the work yet. But as the routine kind of keeps going, he has started to become really good. He knows that first he goes long and low and then he kind of gets picked up. So it's nice to see that improving.
He's keen.
So after I've stretched him, I go back to walk, kind of reset and tell him that there's a difference between stretch and working trot. And then I pick him up in the walk into like a more kind of competition out frame, I suppose. And then I go into trot. So my hands are higher here. I'm trying to encourage him not to go behind the vertical by lifting my hands whenever he does that. But he has gotten a lot better with that. He doesn't tend to go behind the vertical as much as he used to. So I'm just continuing to change the rein, do loads of circles, never really staying along the outside for too long. The next kind of step is that I start moving forward and back in the trot. So I push him forwards, and now here I'm bringing him back slow, and then I push him forwards again. And I find this really good for him because he can be quite lazy and a little bit dead off the leg. So doing that just keeps him really on the ball, keeps him listening to me. And it's also really useful for when I'm jumping courses. It means I have these gears. If I see a bit of a long stride, I can move him forward. If it's a short distance, I have the gears to hold him and shorten his stride. So this has really helped us with our jumping, and I also do it in the canter. I actually didn't do it this day, but I usually do. So here again, you can see I'm going slow, and now I'm going to move him forward. And as I do it, I obviously do it on both reins, and you can do it when on circles. Like, you don't have to just go around the outside. And I'd also say not to always slow down or speed up in the same place, because then the horse might start to anticipate it. Like sometimes people shorten on the short side and lengthen on the long side, which can be nice like markers to get you to actually do it. But then your horse might start to anticipate speeding up down the long sides and slowing down on the short sides. So I think it's nice to just really change it up so they're always kind of on their toe. And then I do a transition to walk, and I try to do my transitions like I would in a dressage test. I pick a spot and I decide I will walk at that spot. So I try to use the posts on the fence to give myself a little marker. So now I'm in the canter. This was last week. Since then, I've actually ridden him doing a really kind of long and low loose canter, and it's really helped his canter, because sometimes he can get very short in the neck in the canter. So here I would say he's quite short in the neck and his pole is quite high. So I'm kind of working on getting that to stretch down, but without him getting really long in his stride, because my problem with his canter is that it's very long. He has a really big canter stride, so it can be hard for me to shorten him sometimes. Sometimes he only shortens in the neck instead of his body, so that doesn't really help when I'm trying to get short strides. But he's really improving. There he did a nice little flying change, so I give him a little pat as a reward. He's very good at doing flying changes, just like when we change the diagonal, but he doesn't actually tend to do it when I actually ask him to. So that's what I've started doing. I've started actually asking him for the change, and then teaching him to wait until I ask him, which he's been a very good boy about. Here Dali is in the hedge, my other horse, and Khal is giving a good spook and giving a good look at him. You can actually see him there in the hedge. But he was a good boy and he stayed listening to me, and I just did a little bit of inside bend to get him to relax his neck and his back, and then he kind of relaxed down and ignored Dali, which he's a very good boy to do. So yeah, just like plenty of circles and getting him just listening to me a little bit. So that trot transition was a little bit tense, so then I just kind of asked him to relax. But again, that was very tense. He's just really spooking at Dali in the hedge, but I don't blame him for that. So now we're going to do some jumping. The jump here is a pole and then 4 strides and then a jump. And then there's a distance on the other side, that's 6 strides. So we come in and pop over the pole. 1, 2, 3, 4, nice easy 4 strides. And then we come around to the distance. There's a water tray here, which he has jumped a million times, but he still likes to give it a little bit of space just in case. 4, 5, 6, again, nice 6 strides, and he changed onto the correct lead over the jump, which was perfect. Next we do it the other way around, so we're coming down the distance. Distance is fine. He gives this a little bit of room because we put up the jump and he was like woohoo. And then as we do the 4 stride distance, you see that the 4 strides come up a little bit short because we jumped into it as opposed to doing a pole into it. So it's just good to do things both ways to practice that shortening. So we just squeeze in those 4 strides, and that's, yeah.
Are you ready for the bush, Holly? You ready for the big fence? Okay. Oh, Jesus. So he goes into hunting mode. Jesus. Hey. He didn't even look at it twice. He just said, just jump this.
Okay, that's my jump.
Holly's going to jump the bush and made it that little bit bigger. So see, can this little horse really balk at it, really struggle with it. It's going to be class. Oh, he went to kick at the ducks. I don't think the horse likes the ducks. Here we go now, for the bush. He's feeling all fresh and good in himself.
You can't be ours to it anymore. You dying? I got my trot off. So after that little bit of fun with the with the bush under the jump, it's time to trot him off. So Khal is a very good boy. He really stretches down after we've been jumping and done our work. Today he was very lazy. He didn't really want to trot off. He kind of just wanted to walk, but I insisted that he kept moving forward because I don't want him to trot really long and low but trotting really slowly, because then he's not actually working his muscles. I want him to really like stretch out his muscles and keep moving forward. So yeah, that's what I just keep doing. So as you can see, I really didn't do much jumping, but it was only his first jump back, so I wanted to keep it nice and simple for him. I'm only really jumping him once a week at the moment, and I'm aiming to go to a show in maybe 1 or 2 weeks time. So yeah, I'm really excited to get him back jumping. I'm gonna do another vlog this weekend, and yeah, jump some more, maybe do some grid work or something a little bit more technical now that he's kind of brushed his cobwebs off and he's back on the job. He's also fully clipped now, you'll be glad to know, so you won't have to look at this absolute atrocity of a clip. He looks ridiculous. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Who's better, mum or son? Fiona's the OG. Champion. What do you think, Khal? You gonna live up to your mom? And the other son? What do you think, Khal?